if we allow this kind of abuse of power that we've seen in this administration, which is far worse, far more brazen, and happening in broad daylight than anything I've seen or experienced in my lifetime. If we allow this to stand, it will be the norm. And there would be no, when the Republican Party takes power, if they were to do the same thing, they're like, what? You guys said it was okay. This is now the practice. This is the way things are done in our country. And we can't allow that to happen.
How much of this is because of people's just overwhelming hatred of Donald Trump? And is that overwhelming hatred of Donald Trump because of the people that are scared of Donald Trump being in power, so they make all these, put out all these things about Donald Trump?
That is what it is. And that is where that hatred comes from, is because they recognize that he poses a very direct threat to what they call the norms, which is the norms that have allowed them to be in this position to abuse their power. And, he's a guy, he's already famous. He's already made a ton of money in his life. There's not anything that they can say, well, if you do this, we're going to take that away from you. And again, he, like him or not, he says what's on his mind. And you don't have to wonder where he stands on an issue, which can't be said for so many of our politicians who will say one thing: we want to save democracy. Donald Trump is going to be the end of democracy. You heard Robert De Niro the other day saying this in front of the courthouse. And yet they are actually undermining our democracy as we speak. And so this is why they're so afraid of him, because he is unlike anyone else that we've seen in our lifetimes in politics, in that he is unafraid to challenge not only the norms here in our country, but even from a geopolitical sense, to ask the kind of questions that in Washington are the sacred cows that nobody is willing to touch